Are you ready for an epic adventure? Join Isla and her friends as they embark on a dangerous mission to stop a group of dark wizards from unleashing a powerful and dangerous force upon the magical world. In Chapter 16 of this thrilling 7-book series, Isla and her friends must race against time and face numerous obstacles in their quest to stop the dark wizards. Will they emerge victorious in the final battle? Find out now by liking and subscribing to Midnight Murmurs for more magical adventures. Book 1: The Secret of the Enchanted Forest. Chapter 16: The Gathering Storm. In a world full of magic and wonder, Isla and her friends had always thought that they were prepared for any danger that might come their way. But as they learned of a group of dark wizards gathering powerful artifacts and performing dark rituals, they knew that they were facing a threat unlike any they had ever encountered. The news of the dark wizards and their dangerous plans spread quickly throughout the magical community, striking fear into the hearts of many. But Isla and her friends were determined not to let the dark wizards succeed. They knew that they had to do everything in their power to stop them before it was too late. As they sought out new allies to help them on their quest, Isla and her friends encountered a powerful witch who had been keeping a low profile. Though hesitant at first, she eventually agreed to join their cause and lent her magical abilities to their fight. They also met a young wizard who was eager to prove himself and quickly became a valuable member of their team. The journey to stop the dark wizards was treacherous and fraught with danger. Isla and her friends had to navigate through dangerous terrain and face numerous obstacles along the way. The clock was ticking, and the pressure was mounting as they raced against time to stop the dark wizards from completing their ritual and unleashing the powerful force they had summoned. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of struggle and hardship, Isla and her friends reached the location where the dark wizards were performing their ritual. The battle was fierce and intense, with both sides using all of their skills and knowledge to gain the upper hand. In the end, it was Isla who faced off against the leader of the dark wizards in a climactic showdown. Using all of her magical abilities and knowledge, she battled fiercely until she emerged victorious, defeating the dark wizard and thwarting their plans once and for all. As the dust settled and the danger subsided, Isla and her friends realized that they had accomplished something truly great. They had stopped the dark wizards from unleashing their dangerous force upon the magical world and had emerged victorious. But they also knew that they couldn't rest on their laurels. They must remain vigilant and continue to protect the magical world from any future threats that may arise. Isla and her friends knew that they couldn't take on the group of dark wizards alone. They needed more help, and fast. After some research, they discovered that a powerful witch lived deep in the woods, but she had been keeping a low profile for years. Despite the rumors of her incredible power, she was known to be fiercely independent and didn't involve herself in the affairs of others. But Isla and her friends were desperate, and they decided to take a chance and seek out the witch. After a long and perilous journey through the dense forest, they finally arrived at her door. The witch greeted them with suspicion, but after hearing their story, she softened. "I have heard of the dark wizards and their plans," she said. "And I know what they are capable of. I will help you, but you must understand that my power has a price. I will not be used as a tool." Isla and her friends promised to treat the witch with the respect she deserved and not to take advantage of her. In return, the witch agreed to join their mission and provide her magical expertise. As they traveled, they came across a young wizard who was eager to join their cause. He had been training in secret, hoping to one day make a difference in the world. Isla and her friends were hesitant to bring on someone inexperienced, but the young wizard's enthusiasm was infectious, and they ultimately decided to let him join them. With their new allies by their side, Isla and her friends felt more confident in their abilities to stop the dark wizards. Isla and her friends raced against time to stop the dark wizards from summoning the dangerous force that could destroy the magical world. They had a small window of opportunity to reach the location where the dark wizards were performing the ritual before it was too late. The group traveled through treacherous terrain, dodging obstacles and traps set up by the dark wizards. The journey was filled with danger, and the tension was high. They knew that every second counted, and failure was not an option. As they approached their destination, Isla and her friends could feel the darkness and the evil energy emanating from the place. They prepared themselves for the final battle against the dark wizards, who had already summoned a powerful force that was growing stronger by the minute. The group split up, each taking on a different task to stop the dark wizards. Isla and the powerful witch they had met earlier, named Luna, went straight for the leader of the dark wizards, while the others tried to destroy the artifacts that were fueling the ritual. Isla and Luna fought their way through the dark wizards, who were fiercely protective of their leader. The battle was intense, with spells flying in all directions. Isla summoned all of her magical abilities, channeling her anger and determination to defeat the leader. In the midst of the chaos, Isla noticed that the ritual was almost complete. The powerful force was growing stronger, and the world around them was starting to crumble. She knew that they had to stop the leader before it was too late. With a burst of energy, Isla and Luna managed to overpower the leader, causing him to lose his focus and break the ritual. The dangerous force dissipated into the air, and the world around them returned to normal. The group emerged victorious, having stopped the dark wizards from unleashing the dangerous force upon the magical world. Isla and her friends realized that they must remain vigilant and continue to protect the magical world from any threats that may arise. As they made their way back home, Isla couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had worked together to defeat a great evil, and she knew that they were capable of anything they set their minds to. Isla and her friends had finally arrived at the location where the dark wizards were performing their ritual. The tension was high as they approached, their hearts pounding in their chests. They could feel the power emanating from the dark wizards, and it made their skin crawl. Isla and her friends knew that this would be the final battle, and they were ready to give it their all. They could not afford to lose. The fate of the magical world rested on their shoulders. As they approached, the dark wizards turned to face them, sneering and laughing. Isla could feel the hate and malice radiating from them, and she steeled herself for what was to come. The battle began in a flash, as the dark wizards unleashed a barrage of spells at Isla and her friends. Isla dodged and weaved, casting protective spells to shield herself and her friends. She saw her friends engaging in their own battles, each of them using their unique skills and abilities to fight off the dark wizards. The powerful witch they had met earlier was casting powerful spells, taking out multiple dark wizards at once. But Isla knew that the key to their victory lay in defeating the leader of the Dark Wizards. She spotted him in the distance, standing at the center of the ritual. Isla made her way towards him, deflecting spells and hexes as she went. She could feel her own magic growing stronger as she got closer, drawing on her anger and determination. Finally, Isla stood face to face with the leader of the Dark Wizards. He sneered at her, confident in his own power. But Isla was not afraid. She drew on all of her magical knowledge and experience, channeling it into a powerful spell that she directed at the Dark Wizard. The spell hit the Dark Wizard with a blast of energy, throwing him back and disorienting him. Isla saw her chance and took it, launching a flurry of spells at him. The Dark Wizard fought back with all his strength, but Isla was determined to win. She summoned all of her energy and unleashed a final, devastating spell that engulfed the Dark Wizard in a blinding light. When the light faded, Isla saw that the Dark Wizard had been defeated. She let out a sigh of relief and collapsed to the ground, her magic spent. Her friends rushed to her side, congratulating her on her victory. They knew that without her skills and determination, they would not have been able to defeat the Dark Wizards. As they stood amidst the rubble of the battle, Isla and her friends knew that their work was not yet done. They must remain vigilant and continue to protect the magical world from any threats that may arise. But for now, they allowed themselves a moment of celebration, reveling in their hard-earned victory. The storm was gathering, and Isla knew that she and her friends were the only ones who could stop it. The Dark Wizards had been gathering magical artifacts and performing dark rituals to summon a powerful and dangerous force, and Isla knew that if they succeeded, the magical world would be thrown into chaos. Isla and her friends knew that they couldn't do this alone. They sought out new allies, powerful witches and young wizards who were eager to help them on their mission. They needed all the help they could get if they were going to stop the Dark Wizards before it was too late. As they embarked on their dangerous mission, Isla and her friends knew that the clock was ticking. They had to travel through treacherous terrain, facing numerous obstacles along the way. The tension was high, and the stakes were even higher as they raced against time to stop the Dark Wizards. Finally, they reached the location where the Dark Wizards were performing the ritual. It was a fierce battle, with Isla and her friends using all of their skills and knowledge to try to stop the Dark Wizards. Isla faced off against the leader of the Dark Wizards, using all of her magical abilities to defeat him. In the end, Isla and her friends emerged victorious. They had stopped the Dark Wizards from unleashing the dangerous force upon the magical world. But they knew that this was just the beginning. They realized that they must remain vigilant and continue to protect the magical world from any threats that may arise. As they looked out at the horizon, the storm clouds had dissipated, and the sun was shining once again. Isla and her friends knew that they had done their part to keep the magical world safe, and that they would always be ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Thanks for joining me on this exciting adventure at Midnight Murmurs. We've reached the end of Chapter 16 of the first book of this thrilling series, and things are getting intense. Isla and her friends are on a mission to stop the Dark Wizards from unleashing a powerful and dangerous force upon the magical world. In this chapter, we see Isla and her friends seek out new allies, race against time through treacherous terrain, and engage in a fierce battle to stop the dark wizards from achieving their goal. And, of course, there are plenty of twists and turns along the way that will keep you on the edge of your seat. But the story doesn't end here. If you want to know what happens next, be sure to subscribe to Midnight Murmurs and join us for the next chapter. Will Isla and her friends be able to protect the magical world from future threats? You'll have to tune in to find out. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next chapter.